A lot of people talk about worldview, and Christians talk about having a Christian worldview. But it's pretty clear that a lot of the people who use the term don't know what it means. For instance, some Christians use the term Christian worldview to mean moral conservatism. I have heard it, even from the pulpit, that having a Christian worldview means practicing abstinence until marriage and also not getting an abortion or swearing. Others believe that having a Christian worldview means having a social consciousness that leads one to help the homeless or the refugee or the at-risk teen. Still, others reduce Christian worldview to purchasing decisions. They have a hybrid car or shop at the thrift store or eat free-range chickens. Moral behavior, social activism, and purchasing decisions may be manifestations of a Christian worldview, but they do not constitute a worldview. A worldview is much bigger and it runs far deeper than these things. And most of your worldview is unconscious. Not smoking, volunteering at the animal shelter, and maintaining a 100-mile diet are conscious decisions. With worldviews, you barely know you have them. For those of you who love definitions, try this one. A worldview is a comprehensive set of beliefs and attitudes that shape our experience of reality. It encompasses our understanding of the nature of the world, the purpose and meaning of human life, the nature of knowledge and truth, and the relationship between individuals and society. It's comprehensive. It affects everything. It is unconscious. You're not even aware of most of it. And it's collective. We share our worldviews with large groups of people, and our worldview framework helps us to make sense of the world and our experiences in it. It impacts our attitudes and behaviors and our decisions. Worldview affects the what and the how and the why of practically everything. Just because we are Christians does not mean we have a Christian worldview. Our worldview is a mess right now, and that's kind of bad. But it's also really interesting to sort it out. You want to see how subtle a worldview can be? The term worldview, well, we probably shouldn't even use it, because it's laden with faulty worldview ideas. Look, the term suggests a situation where you have an object here and it's being viewed by a detached subject. This separation between the subject and the object is very much a part of the modern worldview, a worldview that is not consistent with what we here cautiously call the biblical worldview. Anthony Bourdain was in Brittany for one of his episodes of his show No Reservations. I went to Brittany the following summer to eat the shellfish tower that he featured on that show. It was amazing, but I digress. Another segment of that episode features Jacques Perron. He makes standing sardines. They are locally caught sardines that he stands in the jar. They are packed vertically. He believes that this improves the curing and makes a better product. He produces 1,200 jars a year, which is much lower than the demand for these sublime sardines. Why doesn't he produce more?
What if, people are crying for more? I mean, what do you do?
Non, on va perdre tout l'origine du...
He doesn't care if he could make more money.
Parce qu'on est breton et têtu et qu'on le fera pas.
Because they're from Brittany, they're stubborn, and they simply won't do it.
The reason? He doesn't want to compromise quality. To North Americans, this is crazy. The whole point of our life is to find that one thing that everybody likes and then mass produce it and sell it at Costco and get rich. Those standing sardines would kill at Costco. The French have a whole different worldview. They have different ideas about what makes the good life. If you've been to France in August, you know what I'm talking about. Global tourists are everywhere, and many of the little shops are closed. The proprietors are on holiday enjoying the summer weather. They are passing up on what would be their most lucrative month in the entire year. Consider this. Brittany gave the world the galette and standing sardines, and we gave the world craft dinner. And it's all about worldview. All this worldview stuff is very important for Christians. We live in a world filled with competing worldviews, and unexamined, we will end up living contrary to God's will for our lives, failing in our stewardship responsibilities, in effect hating our neighbors, and living in disobedience, at the very least failing to flourish to the degree that He desires. For Christians, understanding worldview will improve our effectiveness to be salt and light in the world. And I don't mean it will just make us more effective witnesses to our unchurched neighbors. It will do that, sure, but this all goes much deeper than that. In some ways, we are collectively misrepresenting the gospel. We are passively conforming to the patterns of this world, rather than living the alternative. And this world needs the alternative, and they won't find it if it's hidden under the bushel of our adoption of pagan worldviews. And about digging our heels in on certain issues? If we dig into our worldview a little deeper, we might find that we are standing up for things, or against things, that we shouldn't be for or against. Jesus said that the world will hate those who follow him. I think if the world is going to hate us, they should hate us for the right reasons. But one more thing. Rest assured that you will never completely succeed in cleaning up your worldview. And besides, we wouldn't know if we did. Beginning to straighten out our worldview mess is a good way to start. My next video on this topic will provide a framework for understanding worldview. So when we discuss worldview, we aren't actually talking about something else altogether. Thank you, and we will see you there.